Imelda Hill from Mexico's Michoacan state is the first member of her family ever to attain a US visa. Now she's on her way to the United States to visit them. Her daughter, who she hasn't seen in 20 years, and the US-born grandchildren she's never met.
Ella tenía miedo irse y yo la animé que se fuera. Se fueron por Ciudad Juárez. Iba en una camioneta en el monte, entre el monte.
With her family members living illegally in America, like many impoverished Mexicans, Imelda has depended on the dollars they send monthly to live. US currency goes a long way in her rural Michoacan community, but the price? Never seeing her loved ones again in person.
Pues al principio triste, pero luego pues ya se va acostumbrando uno y si tú sabes que tu hijo está bien, por ejemplo, tú no lo cuidas, pero lo cuida una persona de tu confianza y tú sabes que está bien, entonces no tienes mucha preocupación. Dice, no quiero que te vaya a pasar algo. Como que me muera, pues, me imagino, y que ella no esté acá.
Yet today, that all changes. Her undocumented family members may never be able to return to Mexico, but now Imelda can go to them. As part of a joint program between the Michoacan state government, the US State Department, and local migrant aid organizations, the Palomas Mensajeras, or messenger pigeon program, brings the elderly parents of illegal immigrants to America to be reunited with their families.
Oh, pues, un sueño cumplido.
Founded in 2017, in nearly 3 years the program has reunited more than 6,000 families. For Marco Ramirez, the migrant aid organizer of this trip, it's vital social work.
Que poco a poco se va haciendo uno como más indiferente a la misma familia. Eso es lo que pasa. El cariño lo tienes cuando tú estás con las personas cerca y ya cuando dejas de verlas un tiempo, poco a poco se va perdiendo un poquito de cariño, de amor y todo. Al que le preguntes, esa es la mayor bendición que nos pudieron dar.
The messenger pigeons touch down on US soil and are taken to a welcoming event nearby. US airports fall under federal jurisdiction, so while the visa-carrying arrivals are welcomed, it's not a place for their undocumented children to welcome them. So the reunion parties are held in safe third locations, chosen by the migrant aid organizations, where everyone feels safe.
Los familiares de María Guadalupe López Pineda.
One by one, the families are reunited. For Imelda, it's an overwhelming experience.
Maravilloso, increíble y pues un sueño realizado.
It's equally important for her daughter, Isabel.
Muy fuerte. Muy fuerte porque tuve aquí 3 niños y no estar mi mamá conmigo es muy fuerte. Es muy difícil porque pasa uno Navidades, Año Nuevos, cosas que uno, tradiciones de nuestro país y no poder ir, no poder ver a su familia. Yo tengo hermanas, tíos, pero mi mayor anhelo era ver a mi mamá. Yo me gustaría que mucha gente viviera esto que yo estoy viviendo porque no toda la gente tiene la dicha de vivir este momento de volver a ver a su mamá. Es muy bonito.
Imelda will stay with her family in the US for a month before returning to Michoacan during which time she will see the realities her daughter lives through as an illegal migrant in America. Isabel, Imelda's daughter, has lived undocumented in the United States for 20 years. She left Mexico fleeing the violence in her home state of Michoacán, but suffered equally in her experience crossing the border.
Las personas que nos iban a cruzar andaban en la droga. Entonces nos pasaban, pero llevaban a 2, 3 muchachos cargados de droga, pero nosotros no sabíamos. Es algo que no le dicen a uno. Ellos cargaban, entonces nos traían de un lado para otro, cruzándonos por ríos, por aguas negras. Pasamos muchas veces por complejos de casas donde era el río, pero eran los desagües de las casas. Sin ropa, desvestidos todo el tiempo. Nos quitaban todo, ropa interior, todo, porque cuando ya pasábamos teníamos que cambiarnos rápido y no dejar huella de agua, de que nos escurriera el agua. Porque andaba migración ahí checando, nos escondíamos en alcantarillas.
Long before Isabel migrated to America, her husband Victor had crossed first. After being married in Mexico, Victor crossed undocumented into the US and established himself, sending monthly stipends of dollars before saving up enough to pay for his wife to cross over illegally to join him. Since arriving in America and working cleaning houses for cash in hand, she has had children. She says it was only after giving birth that she began to live in fear of the authorities.
Empecé a tener mis niños. Yo tenía que traerlos al pediatra. Tenía citas en la clínica de los embarazos y yo tenía que manejar porque a veces mi esposo no estaba, pero al igual que el manejar era el mismo peligro. Y vive uno con miedo constante, y más cuando uno ve un policía que ya uno lo trae de un lado y dice, ay Dios mío, ya piensa uno que ya lo va a parar en ese momento porque ya uno los ve que están en la computadora, entonces ya uno va con miedo. Ya cuando uno ve que ya pasó ese peligro, dice uno, ay, gracias a Dios, ya se fue o ya dio vuelta para otro lado, pero cuando van atrás de uno, es algo horrible. O sea, uno está de acuerdo en
Yet last year, luck wasn't on Isabel's side. Just as she knew that sooner or later she would be stopped, it happened.
Me tuvieron 5 días en la cárcel sin bañarme, sin asearme personalmente, en un baño donde entrábamos 30 y tantas personas. No había papel de rollo, se tenía uno que secar con la camisa de uno. 30 y tantas personas en un cuartito un poco más grande que aquí, heladísimo. Le llaman el refrigerador porque es helado. Se endrogó con mucho dinero porque pagó $10,000 para yo salir de migración. Para poderme sacar pagó $10,000. Pero gracias a Dios aquí estoy luchando. Tengo mi corte final en junio, donde el juez va a decidir si yo me voy o me quedo. Los chiquillos.
Isabel says she lives in constant fear and that undocumented migrant life in America is lived on the edge.
Uno tiene que vivir el momento y pues pedirle a Dios salir uno y regresar con bien, porque uno no sabe. Se va a investigar a cada uno.
Pending her final decision next year, Isabel is bracing herself for the worst, a return to the Mexico she fled 20 years ago.
Ahorita el Michoacán es uno de los países o ciudad donde los pueblos se matan. Ese es el miedo que yo tengo. Ir a México y vivir una cosa de esas. Plan no tenemos, pero yo sí les digo a ellos, si eso llegara a pasar, yo me voy a ir. Yo Conocí gente de migración que les dieron su deportación y más bien se cambiaron de lugares, pero luego vive uno con ese miedo.
However, her removal from the US wouldn't only have consequences for her. She has 3 small children, all US citizens born in America, who depend on her and her husband, Victor.
Mis niños necesitan su país. Ellos no se quieren ir a México. No, el más grandecito me dice, mami, tú te vas y ya después que yo ya esté grande, yo voy a verte. Y le digo, no, papi, yo jamás te dejaría aquí, imagínate, no. A donde yo vaya, ustedes tienen que ir.
For the US-born generation, despite not having to live through the daily fear of the authorities, they nevertheless live through the angst of their parents' undocumented status. Paula Chavarro is a US immigration attorney and says the issue runs deep.
A lot of my clients have kids that were born here and they're not able to speak Spanish. And so if they were taken by their parents to Mexico, let's say, it's going to be really difficult for them to adjust in Mexico and to go to school and function. Of course, their children also feel that because they don't feel that they belong here, and they think that their parents could be taken away, or they can be their parents would take them to a country that they don't even know.
23-year-old Diana Cuevas is one such example. She too met her grandparents for the first time at the same reunion event. Nearly every member of the older generation in her community is undocumented, and as the federal authorities crack down on illegal immigrants, it has been traumatic.
The pain of seeing that your family members are being some of the ones to get deported. People you know, people you've grown up with, people you've seen have kids, grandkids even, and they get deported. They've spent their whole time here. They've built businesses here. They've supported stuff into the economy, into the whole community. You have to be prepared for the worst to come anytime. It's kind of like a guessing game. You never know who's going to be next.
For Diana, none of her immediate family have yet been affected, but were the worst to happen, it would have serious consequences for her own life prospects. She's a trainee dentist, but would have to leave her education to take on family responsibilities.
And I know if my mom was to ever have to go, not only would I have to be responsible for her over there, but also responsible for my brother and my sister here. And that 1 or 2 people that you do have get taken away, it's like you're left all alone.
Of the cases that reach immigration courts, very few are permitted to remain.
There are a lot of obstacles for people to really get legal. Once you enter illegally, it's almost impossible to become legal. They have to jump many hurdles, and it's really difficult to get there. So I think they need to simplify the system. What I've been seeing in the last 2 years is they're trying to make everything more difficult. They're trying to deny. It's more and more difficult now to get approved, either for a visa abroad or for any benefit here in the States.
Faced with the probability of an unfavorable outcome, for Victor, family unity is the only option.
La única manera es estar juntos, porque en realidad no se puede para allá. Pues si se van, o sea, mientras se vayan con su mamá, todo está bien. Yo pienso que todo está bien. No hay por qué tener miedo allá. Si todos andamos bien, no andamos mal.
In the meantime, undocumented life in America continues. An invisible reality for those unaffected by it, a daily terror for those it touches.